Hi guys, welcome back, and we have here the 3-liter V6 supercharged Audi engine, and this specific engine goes into this Q5 here, 2015 Q5, or sorry, Q7. And I'm going to show you how to take the supercharger off so you can reach and replace your PCV valve. And first thing off, you need to take this this pipe here. So it just has the two clamps right here. This one here and this one, it just, there's a hose here that you need to pull out. It's right here. Right here was the hose. And next thing is we need to take these off, obviously. And the rear cover also. There we go. And next thing is you need to use a 16mm wrench and actually remove the belt here, the first belt that's connected to the supercharger. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna press clockwise to release this this belt. And there we go. And you release it back. And what we're gonna start taking off next will be, I'm gonna have to start disassembling these cooling lines here before. Yeah, it looks like we got some stuff back here, but yeah, let's start getting these lines off. And okay, we're gonna have to pull these out, so you're gonna have to use a hook tool to get to separate the rubbers from the pipes. Okay, once you get these pipes off, next thing in order would be disconnecting all these sensors here. You take this out, and then next thing is this pressure sensor here, and this is here. Okay, and now we go to the other side. So we're gonna have to disconnect this pipe here too, because it's in the way here. I have to disconnect it from back here. There's a clamp in the back there, so we can pull it out. Like I said, there's a clamp here that you need to push down so you can open this line. You need to get it out of the way. And you can take this plastic here off because it needs to be out of the way too. Okay, looks like we have two T20 Torx right here to take this plastic off. It's actually T25, and this one, and it's the second one. As you can see, one here, T25 again. Then we need to take this little pipe, disconnect it here. And there we go. So this is free here. There's nothing here. The only thing back here is we have an evap line right here. That evap line just disconnects here. Okay, this is how you disconnect this line here. You just press it here and you move it out. And remember, this is the evap line. This is your purge valve. So now we gotta disconnect a couple more things. There are two cables in the back, two plugs. one here also. Okay, so one is here, one is here, and there are two more in the back and one vacuum line. Okay, and you have one vacuum line here. Okay, and this is back here. So it looks like, and we have the cable. We have the throttle body connector. It's right here. You have to grab it underneath and try to pull it out. There we go. Okay guys, so on top of the engine in the back, you're going to have three more plugs that you need to disconnect. So one is here. This is one that goes to the purge valve. So you need to get in here. This, you pull it back. You just need to get your hook tool in here and just open this and pull it back. You have another one down there, the same way. You need to get it in and pull it back. There we go. And you have one more. That's this huge plug right here. That's looks like it's another MAF sensor. So again, same way, hook to on the left side, inside to open, and you may need your second hand because this hasn't been off for a while. It may not open. Well, anyway, you get the point. This is the sensor. Oh, here we go. So I just grabbed it in the back and I pulled it and it opened. So this is the last one here that you need to take off. It looks like there's three MAF sensors, because you have this one here, you have this one here, and that's the third one in the back. So this should be it, and the supercharger should be ready to come off. Or yeah. And next thing is we need to start taking these bolts out. Okay guys, the bolts that hold the supercharger is 13mm nuts. So This supercharger is a little bit heavy, so I'm gonna get someone else to help me because I mean it is heavy. I'm trying to pull it, but it's only moving one side. I don't have the power so far out of my hands to actually pull it out by myself, so I'm gonna get someone else to help me. Espera. Wait. One more.
Yeah.
No, wait. Okay.
Plastic. What? Oh. What?
No, it's,
Oh, one more. Okay.
No, it's open.
Okay, here. The table. Yes.
I'm going to install this right before we pull the supercharger. That this pipe here, it connects to the evap line down there, and you need to disconnect this before you pull the supercharger. Just get it out of this connection here so it stays in the car. And also these two lines here. Okay guys, they just need to show you this before you end up installing the supercharger back. You're gonna have to replace this pipe here. This is an adapter pipe. It's a special adapter pipe that goes one way. These must be replaced every time you open the supercharger. As you can see, the seals are smashed, and this is a plastic pipe, so it's not really reliable, so you need to replace this. Even though I don't see, it looks like only oil is passing through this, it's better to replace this one or this pipe before you install the supercharger back. So guys, to start getting all of these things out of the way so we can replace the PCV valve, we need to actually loose these bolts that hold these pipes here, and there's one here, and those are T30s, Torx 30, and one all the way down there. There's one there on the left side. I need to see if I can just maybe loosen these two. If not, the three of them have to come out so I can get these pipes out of the way, because I need to reach. There is a plug down here that controls the I believe this is the active these active flaps, or whatever they call them, the active intake, whatever flaps, and the adjusters are right here. There's one here and there's one here, but there's a wire here. This is the wire that goes under, and I need to get this out of the way so I can actually move these lines out of the way forward. Okay guys, I managed to get those two bolts out, the T30, and just pull this back. You can leave the one there on the left side on the car, but what we need to do here, and why I'm doing this is because, again, this wire needs to come out, and this is the plug that's holding that wire, or that's the wire that goes to this plug, and we need to open the plug. Okay, and we need to disconnect it. Here we go. Once we disconnect it, we can pull it back. Here's the plug out of the way, and then we need to move all the stuff out of the way too. So let me see how I'm gonna disconnect this. Need to find one way that I can get all of this out. It looks like we can just do this one here. There we go. Okay, this one here will get us here. And okay, one is going down. That's gotta be this valve here, and I cannot see where. Oh, it's all the way to the back. There's no way I can install this back on, so I'm gonna disconnect it from this line here. Unless I need to pull these out. Yeah, possibly I'm gonna need to pull these out because they're in the way. These two systems, this one and this one, they're gonna be in the way. And that way, actually, all this is gonna come out. Well, anyway, just disconnect it on this side, and then we're gonna pull. I need to also get this pipe out of the way too. Okay, guys, you need to disconnect now. This hole's here. The way it disconnects, you need to press these two, and you need to pull this side. So that's one pipe that needs to be out of the way here. The next thing is you need to disconnect these two, and these are a little bit strange, but you can see they kind of click. So I used a hook tool and just got it in there, kind of went all the way around, and I loosened these up, both of these, because they're connected on the top of the PCV valve right here, and with this bolt here, we need to take this bolt out. That's going to let these loose. The next thing is we need to start these fuel lines loose. Once we get these two fuel lines, then we're gonna be able to move these two. It looks like a variable intake, some kind of variable intake, but it's like a small version of this. And I'm gonna have to move this out so we can get to this PCV valve that's right here. It's this thing that needs to be replaced, and it sits all the way back here. Okay, the next thing that I've decided to disconnect is, remember this little line here that goes on the bottom of this valve here, so it connects to this T section here. I disconnected from here, and then this big pipe that goes, this hose that goes into this T connection here. This is where I pulled it out. So this is how we're gonna get this out of the way, so it's not stopping our process. And at this point now we can actually keep going with the fuel lines, and then we can take those two out. Okay, guys, in order to get to this line, we're gonna have to disconnect this metal line, everything around here. So we start, and we're gonna have to get it all the way around here and get it off. And it's underneath this part here, this variable intake. So let's start disconnecting, then we're gonna get to it. This is a 17 millimeter, and these nuts here that hold the fuel lines. So you gotta try to disconnect these. Okay, you're gonna get some fuel out, so you need to let the fuel out. And okay, I'm gonna try to hold this side here because it started to move. In this side here, this nut or this adapter is 19, so the actual locking nut is 17. The other one is 19. This looks very tight. It's very close to this coolant pipe. It's actually scrubbing on top of the coolant pipe. That's just really, really strange and dangerous, actually. So be careful. You guys need to be careful with this coolant pipe. Okay guys, you need to unplug the bottom connector here on that side of that adjuster, same way as the other side. Just unplug the locking part and then push down on the actual plug. Here we go, it's unplugged, because now we need to take this out. Well, we're gonna take it out is we got two 10mm nuts here. So one and two, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 T30 bolts. Again, that's T30. A very long bolt. And remember, you're going to have seals underneath because it looks like this thing holds the direct injection system. So okay, try to disconnect these bolts also to get the lines out of here. These will need to come out anyway. Okay, then we can do this one here. This one goes all the way to the high pressure fuel pump, so that's where we're going to disconnect it. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to push these out of the way here so they don't compress on these two systems. Okay, here's the situation with this. You're gonna have to use a long screwdriver to lift this up because this is going to be stuck on the injector seals right here. So you need to be careful where you put the screwdriver, of course, because this is your injectors right here, and you have the plugs connected to the injectors. So this is what your situation is going to be right here. Into these, you're gonna have the injector plugs stuck right here, or the injector seals stuck right here. So once you take this out, next thing is we need to remove this piping here, which goes to the high pressure pump on this side here. So you need to remove these two 10mm bolts right here from these two that hold the metal bracket. Then you pull the metal bracket out, and then you have access to the 17mm nut that's going to lift up this whole system out of the way. Again, 17mm. And once you get it loose, you lift up this whole system again out of the way. And now we need to disconnect. Okay, this is the plug for this right side system here, the variable valve intake. I'm gonna have to remove this one out of the way so it's not because of this high pressure sensor, or the fuel pressure sensor here. So you need to disconnect it. You need to disconnect it again, either through here, or you need to press this top part here and you need to pull it out. And now, yeah, we're gonna need to take this system out too. Same way, 10mm, then the T30. In the same way, you're gonna have to try to lift this up so it gets because it's going to be stuck on the injector seals. Okay, this is stopping here right next to a plug right here. So let me get this out of the way here. There's a plug right here, and here we go. It's barely passing through here. Look at this. It's barely passing through. This is how crazy everything is in this car. It's just like barely any gaps and any distance to install or uninstall parts. So here we go. And here's this pipe here that I left, because look at this, it's all the way to the back. You have no way of installing this once it's installed on the engine. And we see our favorite mouse droppings right here. Let me see if I can show it to you right there. So right here, try to get a vacuum cleaner and vacuum all this area so that it's clean before we can actually start getting this stuff out here, so it doesn't fall inside the engine. Okay guys, it looks like this pipe slides out backwards, and in order to slide it backwards, you're gonna have to reach this. You need to go back here, and this is the bolt that holds this pipe right here, and it has this metal bracket on top, so you're gonna have to maneuver around all of these, unless you can probably remove these two. I think they just slide out. Yeah, these plugs will slide out, but you're gonna have to maneuver around these wires, and you're gonna have to reach the bolt right here, and it should be T30. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So I need to get a different extension actually and try to get it there and open that same bolt right there. So as you can see, the left side of the pipe is held by that bolt, and then we can push the pipe, this pipe, backwards out of the way, maybe up, back and up and out of the way. Okay guys, once you remove this, remove the mounting bolt on this pipe, you need to pull it out of the housing here, and you can get this pipe as a metal version, updated version online. It's recommended that you replace this instead of using a plastic one, and you just get it out of the way enough so we can deal with this PCV valve. And again, we need to disconnect this bolt here. There is a bolt holding this section here, so we can push it back, and then the PCV valve right here would be ready to be taken out. But also, of course, we have to take the T30 Torx bolts before we can actually release it. So take this. This is a T20 bolt here that holds this, and you just need to push this back to get it open. And then now I'm gonna start taking the T30, or these T30 Torx bolts that hold the PCV valve. Again, just get a screwdriver, because it has these seals, these pipes have the seals. Get a screwdriver on the side here and push it out, and it'll release. And now we're ready to start taking the T30 Torx. Okay, now we're just gonna take the T30. I'm gonna save you the time, just take all of these and mark them where they are, so in case they're different sizes. They seem to be the same size so far, so. And yeah, they're all the same size, so and all we do now is just lift this thing up to get it out of the way. Okay, there's one more back here in this corner. So, is there, oh, there's one more here. Again. And take this with a magnet, and now it should be ready to go. Here we go, and now we lift it up, and this is your PCV valve. There we go. And try to get this coolant out of the way immediately. Anyway, you're gonna need to change the oil after this repair, because it's gonna be contaminated with coolant. So this is what it looks like, and we're gonna have to clean the surfaces a little bit before we can install the new part. Okay guys, sorry for the noise, but this is rain. We have a storm passing through, so I'm here working, trying to finish this car. And to continue on this, so once you take the PCV valve off here, is that thing right there, but this is the new one that needs to be installed. And before you can install it, this is original Volkswagen or Audi part. This is the part number, and don't follow this part number. You need to call your dealership, or just, you know, confirm with your dealer to see whether this is the part that you need on your engine. I cannot guarantee you that this is the same part for your engine. So when you open all of these aluminum surfaces, you're gonna need to clean them out here, very thoroughly clean them. And also these surfaces here where the PCV valve is gonna stay on. And one pipe here, that plastic pipe that I told you about, That pipe has an updated version of being a metal one, and we have it here. Europart sells this. I don't know what the part number is, but this is an aluminum pipe. What is the part number? I think this is the part numbers. Yeah. So you need to change those. And the adapter that I was telling you earlier about, this adapter here. This is the adapter here also. And it comes with these silverish kind of seals. I don't know if this is metal or this is or plastic. Maybe it's plastic again. But you have to replace that one too because of the heat. The old one may crack. And now I trying to see whether it's going to be easier to do the pipe first, this plastic pipe first, because when I install this, this back part is going to stay over here and push these, and it's going to be in the way to get to the plastic pipe. So I think I'm going to install this plastic pipe back there first. I need to connect it. Okay guys, so here, like I said, it's actually better to do this pipe before you install the PVC, because the connector is right there. As you can see, the metal pin, and what you need to do is you need to get under the pipe and catch this thing and push it down. Once you push it down, it's unlocked. And now you can actually you can try to remove this pipe and get it, separated from that connector there, and then we can install the new one. Okay guys, to take this out you may end up having a lot of trouble, so I pushed a little bit higher so you can see. And trying to take this out, the pipe actually broke in two pieces. You have to get a screwdriver between the two plastics in order to pull this one out, otherwise it may not want to come out. So also the thing is with the seal, there's a seal inside there in that piece that you need to take out. And look at the seal, it's very old and it's deformed. So you need to change that seal, and I got a new one here that I'm going to install there. You need to throw the old one out, and this seal will go inside there, and you just need to push it with, you can actually push it with your finger, and you may end up having to use a hook tool. Okay, some of it went in. I need to get a hook tool to actually make it sit. And yeah, you need to push it back where it's supposed to be. Make sure that it fits. And yeah, it's perfect. The thing what you're gonna need to do now is you're gonna need to grease this up, because that's the only way you can install this easily and save the seal from deforming from the heat. So you need to put some seal in there, or not seal, sorry, not seal, grease. Okay guys, like I told you, you need to get some good old grease, and you need to grease this seal, or otherwise you're gonna have a big problem trying to install the new pipe. And that's supposed to be down, and you need to bring it back down to where it was, and you need to connect it. And there's a notch. This notch goes on the top part of the connectors, or the plastic connector. just make sure you grease both the, there we go. Once you hear it clicking, that's gonna be your sign that it's already in. And like I said, if you grease both sides, the metal pipe and the plastic pipe, everything should be fine. And now I'm gonna set him out of the way a little bit, same way we did before, because we need to install the PVC pipe or PVC right here. And same way, the one trick that you need to do with the PVC is make sure that the grease, you need to use some grease on this seal. I've already checked this and I've already had some experience with this. That's a seal that I had installed 5 years ago with some grease I took out a few months ago, and the seal looked like brand new, and it was on the side of the engine where the oil filter housing goes on a vehicle that I own. So that's a proof that, you know, greasing these seals actually works. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay guys, so this is how it's supposed to look like. Just you need to grease the seal, and I also grease this side here where the two pipes over there go. Those two pipes right there. Yeah, those the pipes with the green seals. So now we just need to install this back in. And we just use the T30 torque bolts to install this. And I guess the next thing's everything goes back in the order it came out. This video is gonna get too long if I show you all this stuff again, but just follow the procedures how this, you know, was done during the disassembly, and make sure you replace this part again. Grease it up. Everywhere you see these O-rings, you need to grease them up. So grease them up during the installation to make sure that it fits in the hole. There's only one specific way this goes. As you can see, it has a corner. It has like a little different shape. It's not a straight pipe, so it only goes one way. This is the guide here. That's the guide. So this guide is how this is supposed to go, and this should be pretty much the whole job. You know, do everything with the high pressure fuel pump, all these lines, and you can put all this back together. So just, you know, follow the beginning of the video if you forget something, and just so I don't forget, you need to transfer a couple of things from the old PCV to this new one. This is one metal bracket that sits with a T20 bolt here. And this here is a connector that it broke when I was getting this out, actually. But it's this pipe here that you can just find a 90-degree angle and install this. This is where it sits there. So it's this pipe connected to that piece there, right here. Okay guys, when you start putting this back together. The one thing that we didn't see when we were taking this off was this, the PVC piping here, or the the purge valve piping here that was attached to the supercharger. But actually this sits on top of the PCV valve, and it sits in a very specific place. Like it clicks right here and clicks right here, then it clicks right here. So you need to push it. You need to install it after you install the PCV valve here in this metal bracket. Our 90-degree angle little adapter connection broke, so I had to get a different one and install these bolt clamps, because the one that came on the original one actually has the one-time use kind of like compressed clamps, and sometimes I have been able to use them, sometimes I haven't. So anyway, this is what I did to fix this situation. 90-degree little adapter, so make sure it clicks here and then it clicks here. And I'm already installing these, the variable intake, whatever this thing is. And remember to change the seal on the top here and to change the seal on the bottom. The bottom ones are these orange ones. Orange one is on the bottom, the green is on the top. And again, top, and this is on the bottom. And make sure you grease these seals when you install them, because you're gonna manage to preserve them when you grease them, and they're gonna make a better connection. And I've already installed this left side, so I'm gonna keep going by installing the rest of the things. And you can watch the video, I guess, in the beginning if you get confused or if you miss something. Alright guys, so when you're putting these back, these intake runners, you need to make sure you do one specific thing before you install them. So when these are up, they're on the way down, you need to actually you need to actually make sure that this flap here is actually adjusted towards a little bit inside or a little bit more open, because if it's not, when you install this down, it's going to get stuck on those metal fins right here, these metal fins. So what you need to do is you need to push this a little bit towards the open sides, and that's before you push them all the way in. You see they actually clicked open, so you need to push them inside, but see now it's too far down, so it won't go in. So you need to open these a little bit higher. When you open them higher, then you push them a little bit like this, a little bit, so they pass the metal fins, and then you need to go down. Once you go down, they're actually going to stop in the fins. If you don't do that, you're gonna have check engine codes, and they're gonna be for intake runner valves stuck closed, and that's gonna be your reason why this doesn't work, or you have the codes, because it's just a very specific little tiny thing that you need to do. But you need to do it, or otherwise you're gonna have to disassemble everything out and readjust this again. And that's the same procedure if you actually have something broken there. That's gonna be your intake runners. And again, you know, just make sure you move them, you adjust them, and then you press down on the intake runners so they actually are on this side. This is the driver's side, I guess, but this is the passenger. I haven't installed them here yet, but I just wanted to show you this because this is really important. Otherwise it's not going to work. You're gonna have to disassemble everything and put it back again. And unless you actually haven't worked on the car and you have a problem with those codes, then it's going to mean that you're most likely your solenoid here or your vacuum pressure valve doesn't work, and you have to test it by applying vacuum into these tubings and see whether this valve actually holds vacuum or not. If it doesn't, then it doesn't work. You have to replace these valves because that's what drives this little drive shaft, and then drives these runners. And again, just make sure that you can clearly see the fin, like when you push it. Then you can also test it when you push it more here. You're gonna see how it's gonna open even more. It's gonna open everything like wide open. That's how it's supposed to function. Otherwise, if you push it down, it's gonna get over this side, or if you push it without adjusting, it's just gonna go on the other side. And I'll show you if you pull them up, that's what they do. They just click open. Here we go. And that's how they stay. And when you try to install them, they're just going to get stuck on those fins. So that's the whole trick with this. Okay, guys. And again, thanks for watching, guys. Please like my videos and please subscribe. Thank you.